Hello, YouTubers. It's me, your friend, Vicky Milabano. Anyway, guess what? I've been tagged. Yes, I have. I was tagged by Scrapology. You know it's going to take me about 22 videos to do my favorite necessary 20 things for scrapbooking that I can't live without, because you know how long-winded I am. So here's what I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet I am not getting my 20 things done in one video. So there's going to probably be a couple of parts. I felt like saying, I was tagged, just go and watch Kim Scrapper's video, because everything she pulled up, well, just about, in her most liked, most necessary things video, I was like, oh my gosh, that's my favorite thing too. Kimmy, it just goes to prove we need to buy a duplex. You live on one side, I'll live on the other. Anyway, my top 20 things. Guys, I had to really think about this. And as I give you my list, it's not really in any kind of order of importance. But what I will tell you is I did save the best for last. How's that for a cliffhanger? I feel like, remember the old cliffhangers they used to have at the theaters? Flash Gordon and all that. Now, I wasn't around for Flash Gordon cliffhangers, weekly serials, but I was around to hear other people talk about it. So, okay guys, with that, let's get started. I actually had to make a list so I didn't forget what my favorite things were. Okay, here we go. My number one item. Now this does not, it's the first thing, so it would actually be like number 20 on the list. But like I said, I've saved the most important for last. So whatever number this is, one of my most important items is my Cutter B scissors. Now, I actually have a couple items under this number. Did you expect something different? Another can't live without. Ooh, gosh, it's dirty. Anyway, my Cricut spatula. And here we go, Kim. My pick-me-up stick. Now, what made me group these three items together? Huh? What do these three items have in common? I'm going to give you a minute to think about that. Just kidding. These three items are things that I did without for years and years and years, because I was too cheap to buy them. Because I thought, oh my God, I can pick up my own things. I'll get those off that Cricut mat one way or another. And just how good can those scissors be? Listen, as much as I paid for each of these, and I mean, like, you can get any of these items for well under $10. I would have paid double. If you are doing without any of these items, go buy them today, because I get a commission. I do not get a commission. Are you kidding me? Do you think that with my little bit of subscribers, I mean, I think I got like 300 or something now. So listen, if I had 10, who cares? I love you guys. But you think Provocraft or whoever makes these are going to give me a commission? I don't think so. I don't think so, Tim. But the reason I'm telling you about it is because it will make your life easier. Now let me give a couple of honorary mentions here. I also thought I did not need my tonic scissors. Believe me, need them. I did not think I needed my tiny attacher. Need it. I also thought I did not need a really good acrylic stamping block. Like something that, see the width of this, how thick it is? I hope you can see that. I had some that were cheapies and they just were not that thick, and then my stamping suffered. So anyway, so I'm not on here for 6 hours to do 20 items. Let's move on. You get the point. Oh, something I can't live without, my squeeze and roll zig marker. It's a two-way glue, but here's the secret. There are actually a couple of different zig two-way glues like this. And look, they almost look the same. My favorite is the squeeze and roll. And I thought if you found the one with the white cap, then you found the one with the pointy tip, but that's not true, because look what happens. I take the caps off, and see the difference in the points? This one is kind of like a felt marker. This one is true metal. It's very pointy to get into those little places. If you want the one that's like this, you have to look for it to say squeeze and roll. I gave false information on that before because I told you guys on one video that you just had to find the squeeze and roll with the white cap, and that was not true. Moving on. Magazines. Oh my gosh. Magazines, scrapbooking magazines of any kind is one of my I cannot live without items. My all-time favorite is Scrapbook Trends. They not only have scrapbook trends, but they also have card trends. I think this is put out by North Ridge Publishing. I'm not certain about that, but if you go on YouTube and type in North Ridge Publishing, they actually have a video every month or so about the magazine, and they actually give you a couple tips and so forth. Now, that is my favorite magazine. It is a bit pricey. It's $14.95 in the US and Canada. No hike on the one in Canada, which is unusual. It is a bit pricey, guys, but it's well worth it. Look at some of the, very nice layouts. It's not filled to the brim with advertising. They have layouts that you'll do, you know? And look what I do. I put little post-it notes with notes to myself. See? Now, if there's a note on top, a post-it note on top, that means I like it a lot. If it's on the side, it means that's something that I want to do on my very next project. And if I have a post-it note down at the bottom, which this one doesn't, it means there's a technique on that page that I'd like to try. Anyway, that's probably my all-time favorite, but I also love creating keepsakes, and this happens to be their newest specialty magazine, and I think these actually come out about maybe every 2 to 4 months. Once again, the price on this is $14.99. Gosh, is anybody else feeling that that's expensive for a magazine? But, I'm old school, guys. I remember getting Tiger Beat magazine and 16 magazine, and it was $1.59. Yes, it was 1969, 1970, but oh well. Anyway, you'll see all my tags on there. That's a good sign of a good magazine. Even though I'm mostly a layout maker, I do like to make cards. And also, I buy card magazines. You know why? Because sometimes A card, you can take a concept or an idea from the card and apply it to your layout or your altered art. Duh. Oh, I'm arrogant today, aren't I? Must be a full moon out. Anyway, you'll see on this particular magazine, I've left notes to myself. Page 58, good for my father-in-law's card. Page 62, cute layout idea. Anyway, this is by Paper Crafts. It's called Craft Tools. Once again, it's one of the specialty magazines, and it's nice and thick. You know, I like a thick magazine. I'm not crazy about paying $14.99, but that's life. Sometimes my magazines are really what get me in the mood to scrapbook. I'm not much of a scrap lifter. I don't have enough discipline to follow a layout to the T, nor do I have the products they use. So I will look at a layout and I might take an idea or a concept and then I'll make a layout. It looks nothing like the layout I started with or that got my juices flowing, but if it gets me in the mood to scrapbook, who cares, right? Moving on. Oh, I had to look at my list to see what was next, and how in the world could I ever leave off this? My rolly cart. Look at this sucker. I have it loaded down. Now, most of you know that I scrapbook in my family room area. Right around the corner is my laundry room, which, as I've told you all before, is huge. And that's where I store all my scrapbooking stuff. But I have to go in there and pull all that crap out and bring it out here to my coffee table to do my scrapbooks. Now, I'm going to cover you up so you don't get sick. That rolly cart is perfect. What I have in there, let me show you. Okay. Now, this is an adhesive drawer. See? And it's a mess. This is my junk drawer. This has odd and end pieces. There's embossing, clear and, no, is it clear? Clear or white embossing powder, heck, I forget. And the embossing powders I use most often, my Versamark. You know what? That's not embossing powder at all. That's my baby wipes. Here's my adhesive and heat gun. You kind of get the picture. Here's all my Cricut cartridge books. And there are my most used border and border punches and punches. And there's more, but you know, who cares, right? You'll see I even have a Sterilite drawer thingy on top. And on top of that is my paper cutter and my Cricut mat. You know, it's starting to tilt a little bit. I probably have way too much, but I roll it from the laundry room out here to the family room. Where would I be without it? And guess who told me about this? Ashley, who is Adshaw with numbers behind it. And her name will be down at the bottom in the comments. Anybody I mention here today, I'll put a link to their channel in the comment box. So I really, really love that. I got it on sale at Joann's about the beginning of last year, and I picked it up for like $35. Don't pay more than $35 to $40 for it. You will see it out there for $80 and $90. It's still a good, no, I wouldn't pay $80. Well, yes, I would. I'd pay $80 or $90 for it. It really is good. But if you can get it for cheaper, get it for cheaper. My next favorite item. Whoa! Is my little spinny thing. Now, I went looking for one of those white, I think they're made by Memory Makers, carousels that all of you guys have last year, and I could not find one anywhere. I finally find a used one on eBay. Guess what they wanted to charge? Used. $45 and $14.95 shipping. It was outrageous. I was not paying that. So I found this little number at Staples. It doesn't hold as much as the white ones, I'm sure, but it works. And it was $9.99. Guess what? I picked up another one at Christmas for $5. I put my essentials in here once again, things that didn't go into the rolly cart, and it's just a way for me to carry things in between the rooms easily. And you see I got my little wobblers and a tape runner. I was working with my watercolor, my actual water aqua pen. Scissors. That's the scissors I sat on, guys. I'll have to tell you that story on YouTube one time. I know I've met a lot of people and got a lot of new subscribers who was not around when I sat on these lovely scissors. Yeah, it was ugly. Okay. And that was one time I was glad I had a big, meaty hiney. Okay, with this I'm going to stop, and guess what? Here comes part 2. I hope you come back.